Hello everyone, Anthony here. It's a midnight video. Well, it's 11:47. I just want to get this recorded because I just wrote out my thoughts on stuff. So get a little sip. Hopefully my colors are a little bit better. I changed the white balance on my camera after what, 4 years, 3 years on YouTube. So what I wanted to talk about in this video, I was looking at my court paperwork for my lying on the gun form charge, and I saw what judge I have, and I remember that judge is the same judge from a speeding ticket that I got a year and a half ago, something like that. And that ticket ended up getting dismissed because the cop didn't show up, which I was happy about because because that meant I didn't have to argue with the judge or present my case or anything like that. So I was happy about that, even though I wanted to present my case and everything. But I was going to argue that I was charged 15 days after the statute of limitations passed. I was charged 45 days after I was pulled over, and the cop, when he pulled me over, didn't give me a ticket, didn't give me anything, let me on my way. So that was going to be my first argument in court, was arguing that. But I was speaking to my lawyer, and this is crazy. My lawyer, like back then when I was speaking to him, said that when I brought that up, he's like, it's up to the judge, like if he wants to follow the statute of limitations. And I'm like, what? Like, how does the judge get to decide what laws to follow, like all willy-nilly? And like, why even have laws if like I can't follow them? I don't have like a set of rules to follow. They don't have a set of rules to follow. How the hell do I even know what's right or wrong? Like, you have laws and rules for a reason, consistency for a reason, so people know how to behave and act. Uh, so, so yeah, anyway, that was going to be like my original argument. And if that didn't work, then I was going to argue for a lesser sentence, like a lesser fine. And I don't know if I would have got points on my license. I don't think so. But if I had points, I would argue for lower points because I was speeding. I was doing, I think, 66 miles an hour in a 55, something like that, which like is really crazy because like no one drives the speed limit. Everyone drives like 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. And I think it's actually dangerous to do the speed limit these days in most cases, because then you're holding up traffic and not going along with everyone else or whatever. But whatever, that's beside the point. But yeah, that's generally what I'll do. Like if I know that I'm guilty of something, if I know that I was speeding, I'm not gonna try to find some like weird way to like argue my way out of it. Like I know I was speeding, I know that I'm guilty, so then I'll just take the chance to try to negotiate it down, which it is crazy. Like every lawyer that I speak to on situations where I know that I'm not guilty, for example, this lying on the gun form thing, like I didn't intentionally lie on the gun form. I didn't knowingly lie on the gun form or anything, so I didn't violate any laws there. But the lawyers that I talked to are like, oh, what I'll end up doing is arguing it down to a misdemeanor, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to plead guilty to something that I didn't do. And he's like, well, it's gonna cost you like $4,500 and whatever. I'm like, I can't hire you then. I can't hire a lawyer that doesn't want to defend me and doesn't believe that that I'm innocent and would rather argue it down to a misdemeanor. And like, how are you gonna hire a lawyer who would rather have you guilty? Anyway, that speeding ticket was dismissed. But the thing that I want to bring on, because I was kind of rambling here, even though that I was dismissed, the judge still wanted to lecture me, because in his mind, I didn't show up for the original date, the original court date, which isn't true at all. I didn't get a letter in the mail, and I was in the office many times in that month, 2 months after originally getting the ticket to after originally being pulled over to see what was going on and everything. And that second court date, the one that I actually had and was there for, that would have never gotten scheduled. The court date would have never been set if I didn't walk into the office and be like, what's going on? How come I didn't receive anything in the mail? So the judge wanted to somehow say that I was skipping court dates and whatever, not knowing the full story. So because like I spoke up and defended myself on that, then the judge goes on to say like like the cop is always in that same spot every single day at 8 in the morning. And at that point, like I wanted to correct him because I at that time I was driving past that area every day at 8 in the morning, and no, the cop wasn't there every day at 8 in the morning. So, but I'm like, I'm not arguing with you. Like, it doesn't matter. The ticket's already dismissed. So I just like bit my tongue so I could just get out of there and leave. But I understand like why the judge lied about a cop being there, because the judge wanted to like rule with fear and to scare me and to scare others into slowing down on that portion of the highway, like others in the courtroom, so that he can maintain the law through fear, through scaring people to think that there's a cop always there and that they're going to get a ticket and everything like that. But what happens when you lie and you invoke fear in people so that they'll obey? But when you lie about that, that's when you lose credibility and you lose influence over people. So like, for example, back in March, when I first started wearing a mask and telling others about the coronavirus and everything, like what we don't know, and telling people what I see happening in China at the time, and about the people being welded into their houses and passing out on the streets and everything like that. Like that's actual information that I knew and saw and everything. So that's why I was wearing my mask, because I was genuinely afraid, and I wanted to help others and tell other people what I saw and tell them. But what would happen if I lied and made up the whole coronavirus thing? What if the only reason I did it was because I wanted to get you guys to wear a mask and influence you guys and everything? Well, then once you guys find out that I'm lying then about the coronavirus, then you're gonna lose, I'm gonna lose influence over you guys, because my credibility would be ruined. Yeah, so that's not a good way. Like, lying about situations in order to get people to obey you isn't a good way to rule. And that's what you see, like, too, with children, when parents lie to their kids, like, to get them to obey. Like, children are smart. Children know that, like, I don't know, I can't think of like an example off the top of my head, but children know, and children are going to rebel if you keep making stupid lies to them and not explaining them why stuff is wrong or bad or whatever. And like, yeah. So, so anyway, like this judge, all right, so when I went to the magistrate the other day to figure out this whole fingerprinting thing, the I asked the secretary or receptionist there, and if this judge, because apparently my court date, it's like a long story, but apparently my court date's not going to be in the magistrate's office. It's going to be at the main courthouse. And I asked her, like, oh, is this judge going to be the same judge that is going to see me? And she's like, oh, I don't know, like it depends, like which judge gets scheduled down there that day or whatever. So I don't know for sure if I'm going to have this judge. But anyway, it just seems like there's a conflict of interest or a conflict in morals in this judge, because how is this judge going to judge my case for me lying on the gun form when he lied to me in court? Like, how can you say that I'm wrong for lying on the gun form, but he's right and it's okay for him to lie in court to me. Uh, yeah, so I don't know, like, if I should ask for the judge to recuse himself and whatever because of that. I don't really think that matters because I didn't intentionally lie on the gun form. Like, he intentionally lied in court. Like, I honestly didn't know that I was lying on it. Because that situation that they're saying I lied about happened 11 years ago, and I'm still not even sure that what they're saying actually happened because I still don't have any memory of it. I'm getting hospital records to see what happened that date, but yeah, I don't remember anything like that. But yeah, like uh, I understand like why the judge would lie and everything like that. So let's just say that like the judge had a good reason to lie. Let's say that me speeding uh, could have killed someone and that I would have felt like I could have killed someone and felt lifelong guilt and remorse because of it and ended up in jail. So let's say that the judge lied in order to protect the people that I could have killed if I was speeding and got into an accident. I mean, it's not really a good argument because it's not like there's a life and death difference between 55 miles an hour and 65 miles per hour. But you get the idea. Let's say that he had a good reason to lie. Well, there could also be a good reason for me to lie too on the gun form. So if there's a good reason for the judge to lie in court for speeding and saying that the cop is there every day at 8 in the morning, well, there could also be a good reason for me to lie on a gun form to get a gun. And there could also be a good reason for me to purchase a gun illegally, which I haven't done. I didn't intentionally lie on the gun form, and I didn't try to purchase a gun illegally through a friend or anything like that. Like, I'm fine. Uh, but anyway, like, I could, sorry, I lost my train of thought, but I could lie, get a little drink. Okay, so what I was saying is that there could be good reason to lie. Like, lying isn't a universally bad thing because there could be good reasons to lie. For example, in my specific case, like with the comments that I get on YouTube and people threatening my life, and then me being a cryptocurrency multimillionaire, which I'm not a multimillionaire anymore because the prices went down and I sold some over the years and everything like that. Uh, but just me being rich and driving a sports car and being a white male where everyone sees like, oh, rich white male, you must have stole money from black people in order to make your money and exploited people to make your money, and that just being an automatic assumption on them. uh, so I've been attacked for all this in real life and had death threats and people come to my house threatening to kill me and all that. So I do have a good reason in my mind to lie on a gun form if uh, or to buy a gun illegally, uh, which I didn't do because I'm not going to break the law or anything like that. Like, you guys know, I bought the pepper spray, I bought the knife and the bats and whatever, and then just chose to stay in my house and work on my computer, which is like, and work from home instead of like going out and talking to people as much. Like, I would start conversations with people in the past and know what's going on with their life and try to influence them and talk to them about what's going on, and then people would overhear and be like, oh, you can't say that, you can't do that because like you guys know, like some of my thoughts aren't exactly politically correct or acceptable uh, in today's world scope. But yeah, there's a ton of times where I've had my life threatened physically and everything. Uh, so you kind of have to square that circle to where, why is it okay for the judge to lie in court, but it wouldn't be okay for me to lie to get a gun? Doesn't really make sense there. But yeah, there's also like another example, like if a if I'm being bullied in school, think of like if I was a kid in school or you were a kid in school getting bullied for your lunch money. Well, you would lie to the bully to say that you don't have your lunch money. You don't have any money on you, so you're lying to get the bully to leave you alone. Uh, that would be another example to where it's okay to lie, or it's at least understandable to lie. But that's another thing that I went through in my head too, because I don't like lying. Like, I built my YouTube channel and my whole personality over not lying, which because I want to find people that I can trust and build connection with and everything like that. And the only way to do that is to tell people the truth and see what I can tell them. And if I can tell someone that I'm a multimillionaire or whatever, and them not attack me and not have like this negative attitude or perception against me, well, then they're a person that I can trust. So I want to be honest to everyone. That's like one of my core values and principles and everything like that, is to be as honest as I can humanly as be as honest as possible. Of course, like, I forget stuff sometimes and all that. Like, I can't remember why I'm nervous talking in front of a girl. I can't remember on the top of my head and explain the whole story about my parents not letting me out of the house and socializing or having any friends, and that's why I wasn't good at talking to people. And I can't always explain like everything with why I was in the psych ward in 2008, with why my ex-girlfriend leaving me triggered me to be suicidal, when it was just a lack of support from family and them saying stupid stuff, and all my friends leaving me and everything like that, and me just being alone in the world and not having anyone that could understand it or talk to or help me through it. All I could hear is like, oh, she's not worth it, and like what, and like just unhelpful stuff like that. But yeah, what I was saying is, if I'm gonna be honest with people and tell them stuff so I can build connection and find trust with them, well, when I'm talking to people, strangers, to gauge their trust, and I say an honest thing about them. Well, if I tell someone that, if someone asks me like where I work or how do I afford the BMW, or how do I make my money or whatever, well, if I tell them I have a YouTube channel, they're going to want to see the YouTube channel, then they'll see my videos, and then there'll be videos that they disagree with, and then that could ruin the friendship or cause them to say stuff about me and character assassinate me, or not want to be my friend or whatever. So there's like that, and then they'll want to like talk about everything and whatever. So I do want to tell people about my YouTube channel and all that, but and yeah, the only way to know if that friendship is going to last and if I can be fully honest is to tell them about my YouTube channel and see what their thoughts are, see what their real thoughts are and everything like that. But then also with telling people about where I work and how much money I make and all that, well, I'm going to have to be strong enough to protect myself from people who I run into who I told too much to, so to say. Yeah, so I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that, apparently. Let's see if I missed anything else. Yeah, that's it. Like, that whole argument, like, I don't even know how they're gonna prove that I knew that I was lying on the gun form. I don't know. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. I have my hospital records coming to me. I sent out an email to the hospital. I was talking to Carol on the phone, who's in charge of medical records. I was talking to her last week, and she sent me over the form and had me email her the filled out form. Well, then my email went into her spam folder, so I called back yesterday and she's like, oh, I'm not getting your emails. what's going on? And I'm like, oh, is it in your spam folder? And she's like, oh no, that's generally not what happens. Like if an email doesn't if an email is spam, like we don't even get it. It doesn't go in this spam folder. We just don't get those emails. And I'm like, oh, are you sure? So yeah, so she called me back the next day like, oh yeah, your email was in our spam folder. We'll have someone work on it tomorrow, Friday. So I don't know. I'm kind of like feel like I should be working on this court case stuff and writing down everything and going through everything, but also I feel like I can just explain everything in court, which is like uh, court shouldn't be like a judge attacking you or prosecution attacking you and putting this stuff on you like, oh, you're guilty, you're guilty, you're guilty, and trying to like trap you uh, into like admitting that you're guilty or trying to find some flaw in your logic to put guilt onto you. It should be like a calm and peaceful place where all parties can understand each other and try to be a safe place to find the truth. Uh, not be like not have to lie in court because you're afraid of going to jail or be bullied into submitting and all this stuff and be lectured and coerced. And all right, this video is long enough. Take care, guys. Thank you and goodbye. But I have to start talking about this. YouTube just limits all my videos and ads and everything, and my channel's not making nearly the same amount of money as it used to. So I'm asking if you guys can, and when I speak the truth, and you've seen this about my the Stony Mountain video and the Jenna Marbles video and the Lizzie Worst video. I think the Lizzie Worst video did kind of good, but it's all about public perception, not real. My battery's gonna die now. Can you please help me, donate to me, because I don't know what's going to happen in the future, if my YouTube channel is going to be closed or shut down or anything like that. So if I could build up money to continue and be able to go onto a different platform and everything when that happens, if that happens, it would just be really helpful for me to be able to do that. So all right, take care, guys. Thank you and goodbye.